All right. And there we go. Aloha and welcome, fellow mystics, seekers, and shifters. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining in. My name is Brendan, and this is some very exciting news to be able to share with you for those of you watching on YouTube, for those of you watching on Instagram. I'm making this video just to be able to give you guys a little bit of behind the scenes in terms of what's happening within the world of Paradigm Shift Central. There's some really big things that are currently in production. We're building Paradigm Shift Central into like a new stage of its evolution. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about what that looks like. This video is also for some of the creators who are also directly involved with the project. You guys are learning about this. This is a quick way to kind of get the message out there and to kind of bring everyone up to speed. So I'm just going to keep it short and sweet with this call, this video recording. This is probably only going to be maybe like 20 minutes, but I'll get right into the summary of what to be able to expect. So first thing first, again, my name is Brendan, Mystic Spiderman, Skull Babylon. I'm the facilitator for Paradigm Shift Central. And long story short, Paradigm Shift Central is a project that I began way back in 2009. And with this project, it is continuously evolved. It has gone through various iterations over the years. Its core focus has always been to be able to support fellow conscious media creators and to be able to build a community of fellow spiritual seekers and to encourage people to choose to be the change they wish to see in the world. Over the years, this project has continued to help support and feature various creators in different formats. One of the key goals within Paradigm Shift Central has always been to be able to create community that is going to be able to support fellow creators in sharing their gifts and their values. So literally being able to help them build their revenue, build their income, build their entrepreneurial endeavors, whatever the case may be. So moving into the next stage of Paradigm Shift Central, this is something that I'm really excited to be able to give everyone just a quick overview of what it's going to be able to look like. The basic format, and allow me to just kind of pitch this to you. And this is like, and it's not even hard for me to explain this to you. So you guys give me some feedback. This is a basic vision of Paradigm Shift Central. And I'm just going to give a quick shout out here to my good buddy, Iain, who's actually here in the call right now. So Iain's up on camera here as well. And this vision actually came out of me and Iain having some really good conversation over the past week and really just hearing the call of where to be able to bring things forward in terms of serving the community. So thank you, Iain, again for joining in. And I'm going to like pass it over to Iain as we go through this. Again, right now, I'm just going to kind of give a quick introduction. Iain's got a lot of experience when it comes to like building businesses, facilitating communities. So I'm super grateful to be able to have him on board as a partner with helping, again, bring forth this next chapter of Paradigm Shift Central. So here's the basic format of Paradigm Shift Central. What Paradigm Shift Central is moving into is going to be basically a membership-focused community where people can sign up with a monthly subscription of $33 a month and be able to get access to featured community events from various community members, from various community creators in hosting a variety of community events. So again, let me try to explain it to you. And this is my first time just being able to pitch it here, just like on the fly. But again, the basic format would be you as a community member could sign up for $33 a month. And with that, get access to ongoing weekly and monthly special events hosted by a variety of community members at a professional level. So if you've seen various like members creating different content in different communities, sometimes they'll have ticketed events, sometimes they'll have their individual patrons. This format is basically kind of like creating a group Patreon. And the model behind this, as someone who's like helping facilitate it, would be to actually be able to help pay creators in facilitating events. So what I'm doing right now is I'm building that first initial circle. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. I'll give you guys a little bit of an insight of what that's going to look like. And we're going to be rolling this out as soon as June. So this is going to be like an early version of it is going to be rolling out in June. And so with that, the early version, again, it's super simple to explain. As a user, you would sign up for $33 a month. And with that, get access to a variety of events happening in the community, professional events hosted by a variety of established professional conscious creators. And in terms of what these events can be, they're going to be ranging from like casual conversation events to very intentional ceremonial events focused on experience and utility and connection and embodiment and community and inspiration and activation. So it's really a way where, again, you know, sometimes if you're like signing up for someone else's event and things like that, it would be like $33 just for one event. So $33 a month would get you access access to these variety events. They would also be recorded. And then if you miss them live, you can check out the recordings and you can basically pick and choose which events you want to be able to join. And then with this, we would also be able to invite in special creators to be able to sometimes do guest events. So we'd have like regular hosts, like hosting regular events. And one of the things that's going to be cool is that instead of just thinking them as events, you can start to think of them almost like shows. So there would be like specific recurring shows that you would be able to participate in. And so again, these would be events ranging from a variety of stuff. And that's stuff that we're going to be getting into once we have more of the creators on board, and we're going to be brainstorming. And it's really leaning into them doing events based on things that they are passionate about. So again, there could be like meditation event, it could be ceremonial event, it could be prompt events, it can be ecstatic dance events, live DJ events, conversation type events, events kind of like really going into the shadow work, educational event, presentation events that again are just going to continue to not only to like provide you like high value, but also like help you through your own spiritual and transformation process. Within this community membership, there would also be the option for creators to join at a higher separate tier. And right now, the number that I've chosen for that is $55 a month. And with that, so this is where like the creators would actually be able to join at $55 a month. They're investing in the project. And with it, not only do they get additional support within our community of conscious creators, but they can also host events. And then in the process of hosting events, my role would be in being able to mentor them, being able to help with the production, being able to help with the brainstorm, being able to help with the coaching, and making sure that things like really run smoothly. And then as this evolves, we would have various members where we basically create a calendar ahead of time. So you would see the events ahead of time. Behind the scenes, I would be working with the creators and basically coordinating and saying like, okay, like you're going to be hosting this event, you're going to be hosting this event, I'll be hosting some events here and there as well. And really just kind of like rotating through things and just keeping a nice, like steady roll of events coming in through the pipeline. So that's basically the model of what Paradigm Shift is going to be moving in towards. And there's a lot of work that I have in the meantime, and I'm just going to give you guys a quick overview. And then I'm going to pass it over to Iain, and then we're just going to chit chat here for a little bit. And then we'll basically just be hanging out here for a bit of the call. And then we'll be wrapping it up from there. Again, at this point, no sign up is currently available. Some of the work that I need to do for the next steps of the project is overhaul and upgrade the Discord server. I've already been doing this. I'm already in the process of doing this. Update the membership aspects of the Paradigm Shift Central website. This is something I'm in the process of doing. So that's where instead of a Patreon, you would go right through the website, sign up there for your membership. And then with that, that's where you would get like the updates and also emails about the upcoming events and so forth. Basically making it as easy as possible for the variety of users. Not every user is going to be looking to like join a Discord and join a forum. Some users, they just want to be able to join and just say like, hey, send me an email. Let me know when the events are happening. I'll click and join if I can. I'll check out the recordings when I can. So it's like meeting a variety of needs and styles for how community members choose to be able to engage. And then again, with that, also updating the Paradigm Shift Central Instagram. I already have that. I'm going to reactivate it. Creating an Instagram DM group for the Paradigm Shift Central Creator Squad. So if you're one of the creators that I've already reached out to, and or even if you're not one of the creators that I've reached out to, but you're really interested in this, let me know. And this is something that you can get involved with as well. And then again, also planning upcoming production meetings and begin setting up a scheduled events for June and into July, and then focus on promoting the project and generating an effective community heartbeat. Some events would be free. Some events would be like live events that would be free to watch. And then some of them, again, would be purely for members. Another thing that we're going to focus on is also like events focused around like full moon and also new moon and everything. Again, we're going to kind of like build into everything. We're not going to try and do everything all at once, but really cool events like sound healing events, ceremonial, deep meditation events where you guys can actually, again, kind of like not only engage, but prior to events, you can let us know what type of events you guys might want, and then we can continue to build it from there. So some of the model with this, again, if you're thinking like $33, oh, and the one thing I'll mention, those of you who are signed up for my Patreon, you are all, first of all, thank you for being a Patreon supporter. You are already legacy members, like that's a general term. You have access to this new stage of Paradigm Shift. So if you have been signed up for my Patreon at any level prior to this point, even if you're watching this video and you want to sign up right now, hey, go for it. There's still a little bit of a window. You get access to this $33 membership tier right away. You're going to be like the first like circle within the community. And then basically you've already got your membership set up and everything like that. So, and those again, who are already like within my leading members within my Patreon and everything like that, again, same for you. You guys are already on board and everything. And so the model behind this is, again, it's kind of like a group Patreon where as we bring in community members to host events, we're bringing in new memberships, and as the membership scales, the additional income, it's like this is designed to scale so that the income continues to become available for the community creators that are hosting these events. So if you think, if there's $33 signups and then we have 30 of those signups, that's $990 per month. That's available to be able to distribute amongst creators. Amongst the creators, we'll be kind of figuring that out as we go. I'm inviting you guys to be generous and honest with us. So if you're, say for example, like you're another creator and you're like talking to me and you're setting up an event and we're figuring out and be like, okay, cool. Like you're going to do this event in 2 weeks from now. It's going to take you maybe like 2 hours to host the event, a little bit of promo ahead of time and everything like that. What's a reasonable payout for you? And for you as a creator, you might be like, knowing that we're just getting started, and be like, hey, you know what? Like $80, $100. I'm okay with that for now. Awesome. Great. You do your event. We send you your payout. And then as things build, again, 100 signups at $33 a month, that's $3,300 available to be distributed amongst creators that are that are choosing to create events within the community. And all the events are going to be approved. All the events are going to be vetted. All of them are going to be involved with me going through like the back end production and things like that. Again, you have 250 signups, and then eventually 250 times 33, that's $8,000 plus to be distributed amongst community members. So once we kind of get into the routine of this, those of you who are hosting regular events, regular shows, and we're not always going to like try and plug as many shows into 1 week, we're going to figure out a schedule that's like a good heartbeat. So there's a little bit of some space between events and everything like that. Again, there's all these little details we'll figure out. But eventually, if it gets to the point where, like we got like once the membership has been scaled up and you're a member, you're a person who's hosting an event, I want to be able to say like, hey, like not only are you hosting the event, but you're taking the time to be able to promote this, to bring in new memberships, to scale this up. The more memberships that sign up, the more that we can distribute amongst the creators. I want to be able to pay you $250 to be able to host a single event. You don't have to worry about selling the tickets necessarily. They're already sold through the membership sign up. It takes off the load from you. We help promote it. And then all you have to do is like do your promotion on your end, bring in more people, let people know. And then we all show up at the event, and that's, bingo bango, you kind of repeat that process. And then again, you get to the point where there's like 500 signups. So we're thinking, like you start thinking 6 months, 8 months, 12 months down the road, 500 signups. When you're starting to bring in creators, especially, what I bring to this project is the relationships. This entire project is made possible because of relationships. And over the past 10 years that I've been doing Paradigm Shift Central, a really powerful thing that I've been able to do is build a lot of awesome relationships. People who are watching this video, who I've connected with, who are my friends, people who I've known for years. And again, with this, there's a bunch of creators. So again, just as an example, there's a bunch of creators who I know who are like they got like millions of followers on TikTok. So imagine as a model for this community, as we build things up, where I reach out to one of those friends and I say like, hey, I'd love for you to be able to host an event here through Paradigm Shift Central. We have $300 that we could pay you to host this event. And then they are like, yo, I'm totally down for that. And then within that, they promote the event and then direct people to Paradigm Shift Central. And then also out of that, say like get like X number of signups, maybe 30 people sign up for the event out of their million subscribers and stuff like that. Right out of that, again, those funds go right back into going into other creators and supporting them. So I wanted to create a model where the creators that are within the circle are able to basically say like, hey, I'm available to be able to host an event sometime this month. We figure out a schedule, we figure out an event, and then you host the event. And then after that, we send you your payout. And it's pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward. And obviously we'll be having people helping manage things and everything like that. So that's kind of like the basic model behind it. It's not super complicated. Again, monthly membership, $33 as a community member gives you access to an awesome selection of live community events that you can interact with, professionally hosted by a variety of conscious creators within the community to be able to serve you with recordings available. Some of those events will be free, and those will be events that will draw new memberships, and then some of them will be just for the community members. The majority will be just for the community members, and really focusing on utility, embodiment, serving the community, and really just, again, creating those experiences that are going to activate your heart and help you kind of step into new stages of your personal being. So that's a basic overview. Again, for those of you who are watching this on any platform or even afterwards, feel free to let me know if you have any feedback on this, if this makes sense, if you can kind of begin to visualize what this model looks like. At this point, Iain is on the call with me as well. And again, this is also a meeting for me and Iain as we are also just kind of like brainstorming things. We're still in very early stages. I will let you guys know that next week, actually, Iain is going to be hosting an event on Portal to Ascension that I'm going to be helping out with. I'll put the link for that in my profile very soon, and also in this video info. And that's going to be Thursday on June 2nd in the evening. And again, that's actually going to be what my plan is, to actually be able to like have those events as a bit of a launch point into the genesis of this new version of Paradigms to Essential and stuff like that. And then shout out to Portal to Ascension, because there's going to be some like continuous synergy between us and Portal to Ascension there as well. But anyways, Iain, again, just kind of like a lot of the stuff that I was saying, again, just kind of like giving you the overview of all the gears that have been spinning in my head and everything like that. Anything you want to share? How does that sound from you? And again, obviously we're still in the brainstorming stage and there's still all the little details that we're sorting out. And thank you again for being here, dude.
Absolutely. And thanks for having me on. I'm glad that we've developed this relationship, kind of seeing what this is going forward with. Just for people that are just watching this, so they have a little background. I started talking to Brendan a little bit about a model that I have and I thought of for Evolve Life, which is one of my companies. And I've had several different companies. And Evolve Life is where I put all my practices that have allowed me to really live a life that's like, I'm free. Like, see my hat? Like that's me right there. Freedom. Like I feel it. I'm living it. Like life is good. I've got really very minimal issues in my life, just enough to keep me growing. And it took a lot of work to get here. It took a lot of energy to get here. And there was specific things that worked for me. And I learned those from different resources. So I modeled that and brought it in to my company. And like, these are all the instructions, right? This instruction manual, make life flow with ease, grace, happiness, so forth. However, I'm just one person. And each of you, that anybody that watches this, that's even interested in this stuff, is doing very similar to what I'm doing. And you all have been part of the school of life, and you're consciously aware of going through the school of life. And when we're conscious of it and we have that kind of growth, we have the ability to share it with a lot of individuals. And that's what makes us ultimately a creator. It doesn't mean you're necessarily creating courses online. It might just be that moment you're in the supermarket and you snap somebody out of their, their heads down, they're feeling down, they're dim, their lights dim, and you can say something and you can light them up for even just that moment. It changes their day forever. So every one of you has a lot to add to this platform. So why would you pay for it, right? That's what I think. Okay, as a creator, why would I pay to be part of something like this? Well, the idea really is to pool our knowledge in one place so it attracts individuals. So if I'm a little bit older than most people that I think might be in your channel. I'm a little older than you. I remember Deepak Chopra, Jack Canfield, Eckhart Tolle, when they first came out, and Bernard and Michael Beckwith, some of the old school guys created the Council on Transformational Leadership. And that generation got together and created this space, the entire industry of human potential is what it was called back there. We have so much potential, and that's kind of where that was the most recent generation of it, right? We could go back into the 1900s and stuff like that, but with these types of platforms where they have speaking events, these guys all got together and said, hey, these methods work. Let's build with each other. And they really created the industry in a large way. So if you hear of the Association of Transformational Leaders, it's a subgroup of the Transformational Leadership Council, these guys. So what we're doing is we're creating the next gen of that. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it, is we have such a clear understanding of how the mind, emotions, body work together, like the mind, body, spirit complex. Let's call it that. Use law of one material. How that works together in a whole new paradigm than we were taught in schools. And schools aren't about to start teaching this to our children. And both of us have young children. So for me, this is like a library. Like, how do I create something that my son's going to be able to watch down the road? So the idea is to bring us all under an umbrella and then be able to leverage each other's strengths so that we can create something that changes the world, continues to change the world, changes ourselves, gives us greater opportunity to do that, and a way to monetize it. So there's going to be a percentage, we don't know what that percentage is yet, that is going to be for the master company, right? Paradigm Shift Central. That gets held so that we can reinvest into it and keep growing it. That's going to be marketing expense, so forth. And we're going to pay out to some of you creators when you do events, right? And then we're going to keep that in the library. And as people come in, they'll be able to actually watch your events and so forth. And we're going to take another percentage of our net profits and we're going to distribute it amongst the creators. So now we're creating wealth. And this is how we're talking. Nothing's carved in stone right now about the percentages and how it's all going to work. But the idea is, how do we funnel this information in and create our own little ecosystem so that we're all generating wealth from this? And some people will just be biased, like just want to watch it. Like it's a Mind Valley type operation, and where you can just log in, you see the courses and you have a membership, so forth. And that's going to be where they're at. And some of you are going to want to participate in the program that actually generates revenue that we're going to share out to you. So we're going to benefit from each other's network. We're going to benefit from each other's knowledge. And we're going to benefit from the community that we create that expands each other, and having the technology and the format to do it in the most simplistic possible way. Rather than everybody having to figure out the technology aspect and everybody having to figure out the marketing on their own. It's like a whole different business figuring out the marketing than it is creating a course or creating an event. Figuring out the technology, a whole nother business. There's all kinds of startup costs. Like, let's eliminate the startup costs for you, or like reduce it down to this small monthly amount, and we'll have everything under an umbrella for you. So you're paying $33 a month, but you have a platform where you're going to be able to reach tens of thousands of people consistently, that you're going to be able to also get a percentage of the revenue that's created from it, or paid for your specific event, or I should say, it's all also be able to sell and share like one-on-one coaching if you do that sort of thing, or whatever it is that you do to monetize your life. So that's like the real benefit here. So I think you did a great job kind of talking about the structure of it. And I think we can create something visual that shows how this kind of funnels out, and we'll start to put numbers to it. If you're watching this and you have an idea of what would make it enticing for you, then like Brendan was saying, you need $80 to do an event, and that would be a game changer for you to have an extra $80 a week or whatever. That's what it is. If it's 120, it's 120. Like, I don't get emotional about numbers. Just tell me what it is, and we'll support you in any way possible to make that a reality. So for me, that's kind of the idea, is mimic what was done in the past by actually creating a group of really freaking enlightened individuals that's going to attract more individuals, and we're going to now continue to enlighten each other, drive money for each other, drive customers for each other, expand our minds, and then eliminate the stuff that's outside of that, like the core business pieces that would distract us from actually focusing on what we're best at. So you might be great. You might be a great medicine bowl player, right? I do medicine bowls. I gong. I do all that kind of stuff. And if you go to the My Evolved Life Instagram page, you'll see some of the stuff that I do on there. Or you might do stuff around the mind, or you might do ecstatic dance, or you might do yoga. Whatever it is that your thing? You might do art, like therapeutic art. There's no limit to this. And the idea is to really bring us under one hub, so it's focused around paradigm shifting and really getting people thinking outside of their entrained or indoctrinated way of thinking that they got in their education. So that's kind of what got me excited about it, is we find a way that we can support each other. And that person that has, 100,000 people on TikTok, they might now be posting about your event. You now have access to that individual without having to go build a direct relationship, because they see that you're part of the Paradigm Shift Central Network. And it's kind of what's happened for me with the event next week that Brendan mentioned at Portal to Ascension. Like, I have my own page and I do my own marketing and stuff like that. But for me, I have a family. That's kind of like a hobby for me. I've got my wealth from other places. So I get whatever reach I get. But all of a sudden I meet Brendan, and now I'm going to be on the Portal to Ascension page, which has about 50,000 YouTube followers. That's a big audience that I wouldn't have access to. You're going to start to get access to them or similar things as we grow, and you get access to me. Like, hey, you got an event coming up? You want? Right now I think the Evolved Life page only has like 8,000 followers, or maybe it's 5,000 followers. But I'll post your event if it's something in line with with Evolve Life, and what Paradigm Shift is doing is really pretty aligned with that. So that's the idea. Get rid of the stuff that you guys that's distracting you from actually doing the work that you were born here to do, and be able to monetize and focus on what it is that you were born here to do, and help enlighten humanity. And one of you might be a marketing guru that starts helping us all. So if that's your deal, like, come to us, help us build it from that angle. You don't have to be creating the content around things that shift the paradigm. It might actually just be that person that helps get it out there.
Yeah.
So that's where I'll do that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you, Iain. And getting Lacy's in the call right now. You guys know Lacy. She's just listening in right now. And Lacy really likes a lot of what you're saying, and just her comments saying, yeah, really creating a container for everyone to flourish. And again, that's always been what Paradigm Shift is. It's always been kind of like evolving with the times. And this is something that, again, like within my heart, within Iain's heart, it's just like, this makes sense. This is possible. This is feasible. We have the skill set. This is something that we can scale up. And again, like Iain said, like, this is something that, like, what I'm excited about is that the members within the community who are going to choose to align themselves with it, it's going to become something where it's like, there's no competition. Like, it's literally everyone just like collectively like helping this thing grow. And then as it grows, we all grow. As the water rises, so does every ship, you know? So if like, you're just like, man, I'm getting in new memberships. Awesome. That's helping Joey. That's helping Sally. That's helping more people reach their events. And again, it's giving us this idea to be able to approach it in a professional way. And like we said, for the members within the community, you're going to have different skill sets. Some of you are going to be wanting to host events. Some of you are going to be wanting to help out in other ways. We'll figure out all those details as we go. There's still a lot of groundwork for us to be able to build up. I'm going to be working on things behind the scenes. Iain's going to be working on things. But again, as far as the plan is, we're going to have things up and running in a variation of it in June. And then we're going to kind of like start off beta wise, and then move it into July and continue to just like scale it up from there. So there's going to be a lot of chance for us to like grow and expand. And there's already so many creators that I've already reached out to that are interested in this. So stand by for more of like those names. If you are some of those creators that have already been people that I've been in contact with, or if I haven't reached out to you yet, reach out to me, let me know. We'll get you involved with these production meetings. We're going to be doing more of these production meetings to give you guys a little bit of the behind the scenes. And again, eventually, once we start doing this, eventually you'll see the link in the info for this video to say like, hey, here's where you can join the membership, and you're going to get involved, and you're going to see the calendar, and you're going to see the upcoming events and so forth and so on. With that said, we're going to wrap up this meeting. I got to head out in a minute. Iain, thank you so much for your time. I'll pass it over to you just real quick. And again, for those of you who haven't already yet, you can connect with Iain. I'll post his link in the info for this video on Instagram. It's Iain Gray. And also, again, My Evolved Life on Instagram. And I'll post both accounts, and then also the link for the upcoming Portal to Ascension event. And you'll see me posting about that as well in the near future, coming up next week on June 2nd. So Iain, I'll just pass it over to you. Anything else real quick before we just wrap it up and call this one an
No, I think that's great. I'm looking forward to our next call. I think we should just create some kind of diagrams to be able to show next time, and kind of explain how it works. We'll make like a customer path and a creator path and the different things like that, and how we can do it so people get more engaged. But if you guys have questions, answer them or ask them. If you have suggestions, put them out there. Like, we're bringing this and we're talking about this now publicly so that you can be involved in the process and really make it what you want it to be. And if none of this resonates, well, then you're probably in the wrong place.
No worries. Thanks for passing through. So, but yeah, no, there's a lot of awesome stuff to work on. And again, I'm looking forward to like having more of the creators in this meeting. And not every like meeting might necessarily be broadcast. Some of them will just be us just kind of chit chatting. And that will be like a lot of the brainstorming process and figuring out the upcoming events. So again, for the fellow creators who are interested in this, reach out to me, start thinking about events, start like figuring out what you can kind of bring to the community, and we'll start working on things together, and we'll just take it one step at a time. So yeah, super excited to be able to bring you guys again this next version of Paradigm Shift Central. Again, Paradigm Shift Central at this point, it's like over a decade old, and there's always been new iterations, and I'm excited to be able to bring like this next iteration of what Paradigm Shift Central will become, while still staying true to like its original origins of being able to help inspire people to choose to be the change they wish to see in the world, and creating space to be able to help support fellow conscious creators and leaders and spiritual seekers. So I'll just put the basic links in this info for this video for my Patreon. Again, closing the window soon on my Patreon will still exist, but it will be a little bit different. But again, if you guys want like a legacy legacy member, join my Patreon now, and then that will give you like early access to like this, before we actually activate the $33 membership for the new version of Paradigm Shift Central. Plus, I'll still have some extra bonuses for my Patreon in general. So thank you again to my Patreon supporters. Iain, thank you so much again for partnering up on this and making it possible. The one thing I just didn't mention that I'll mention here, another thing that to look forward to within the building of Paradigm Shift Central, it will also be the capacity to be able to invite on sponsors and other investors, like having sponsors come in and where we'll be doing events, and it will be normal for partway through the event. We will say, we want to take a moment here to be able to thank one of our sponsors. Shout out to so-and-so and so. And I've already got a couple sponsors who are already we're in discussion and stuff like that. So there's some doors opening up there. But again, just kind of planting the seed and hey, if you're someone who might want to sponsor this, let us know, just reach out to me, reach out to Iain, and we'll start talking about that. But again, this is something that, slow and steady, really focusing on the roots, really focusing on the community, really focusing on the relationships. That's what will allow this continue to grow to the stars at Astra. So thank you guys again for being a part of this. Thank you for being a part of the journey. Reach out to me anytime, reach out to Iain, let us know. Keep an eye on the Discord. You'll be seeing the updates there, and we'll just keep you guys updated as we move along. And you'll be seeing some upcoming events in the near future through Paradigm Shift Central. So Iain, any last words before we call it a day?
The only thing that pops in my mind when you say about the sponsors, I just think is important for people to know, is we will be discerning with who the sponsors are.
All sponsors will be
in alignment with who we are. We're not. Yeah, we're not gonna push things that are not in alignment with what shifting paradigm, right?
Yeah, so it'll all be in good taste. So cool, awesome. All right. I think that's it. So Iain, thank you again. Thank you to everyone watching this. Go ahead, leave your comments for those of you watching this into the future. For those of you on Instagram or anywhere, just reach out to me anytime, and we'll keep in touch. And fellow leading members, leading creators, definitely, again, keep an eye open, keep in touch, and we hope to be able to see you soon at upcoming production meetings for Paradigm Shift Central. So wrapping it up there. Thank you guys again. Be sure to go connect with Iain, and as always, keep it shifty, and we will see you guys in the future. Much love. Thanks again.
God bless.